So the second of two second-round matches now in the English qualifiers for the Pro Wrestling World Cup. Zack Sabre Jr. and Jimmy Havoc. Matt, you called this a clash of styles.
Absolutely. Look at the bottom of your screen. Technical versus hardcore. Pick one. There you see, of course, all the accolades, but again, all that can just get thrown out the window for me. This is going to be ugly.
Jimmy Havoc defeated Zack Gibson in the first round, despite Gibson dominating large portions of that match. Havoc only really getting into it once he lured Gibson outside and turned it from a wrestling match into a brawl.
Yes, but will Jimmy Havoc be able to do that with Zack Sabre? Understand that Zack Sabre is a very smart young man on top of being an incredible wrestler. I don't know if he'll be able to be baited.
There he is, the technical wizard, fresh off that victory over Marty Scurll earlier tonight. And Sabre Jr. was stretched and countered and thrown around the ring by Marty Scurll. We saw Ospreay had an injury to that lower back. What kind of condition is Sabre in?
The following contest, it is a second round qualifier in the Pro Wrestling World Cup, and it is set for one fall. Introducing first to my right, ladies and gentlemen, from Camden, London, weighing tonight at 169 pounds, this is Jimmy Havoc! Ladies and gentlemen, his opponent, wrestling out of the Isle of Sheppey, and weighing tonight at 180 pounds, Zack Sabre Jr.!
There's one part of this match that maybe a lot of fans don't realize, but I talked about how Zack Sabre Jr. and Marty Scurll know each other very well. Well, Sabre Jr. and Jimmy Havoc are products of the same wrestling school, the NWA UK Hammerlock School that produced Doug Williams, Alex Shane, among many others. And they were there at the same time down in Kent. They've known each other for many, many years.
Yeah, all that's well and good. Hang on a second here, inside cradle, small package, no! All that's well and good, but quite a bit of time has passed since wrestling.
Oh, Havoc!
Ooh.
My goodness, Havoc charging out of the ring onto Sabre.
You know something? I like what Havoc's doing here. He's bringing the fight to Zack Sabre, not allowing Zack to utilize his technical ability. Jimmy Havoc is dictating the pace of this match. Double stomp down to the kidneys.
Looking to surprise him early, and he nearly did as well.
Look at Zack. Look where Zack put his hand, right there onto his midsection. If you know your anatomy, you know about the vital organs.
Ooh, out to sleep. From Jimmy Havoc on Zack Sabre Jr., who has been stunned by this lightning start.
Can't even get out of the box. Ooh.
Another 2 count for Jimmy.
I can't recall the last time I saw Zack Sabre just neutralized like this, especially so early on.
Havoc with Sabre on his shoulders.
Wait a second here.
Now here we go.
There he is. There's the man we've come to know and love. Going for the triangle here. Zack Sabre was able to use his long limbs and switch his weight around, and Jimmy Havoc is forced to get to the ropes. Zack still clutching at the back of his neck. Tries to stay in control. Ooh!
Twisting the neck of Havoc there is Sabre Jr.
This is unlike Zack. He needs to get on his opponent now.
Well, I think Sabre Jr. was so taken aback by that fast start that he's just trying to slow this down a bit. That'll slow Havoc down, that kick.
Zack needed that because he needs to bide some time here for himself. Look at that. Giving a foot on his opponent, staying close, and now back to the playbook. Manipulating the joints, the wrist and the fingers, but Noticing that Zack keeps clutching at his traps, his neck. We're going to keep that. And a little bit of a limp, too, on Zack.
It was a punishing first-round match.
Now Zack trying to bait, looking at his feet. We talked about it in the Christopher Daniels match. A good pro will watch the feet of his opponent.
Always with that foot on the head, just controlling the opponent at all times.
Yeah, it doesn't take a genius to figure it out, man. Control the head and control everything else. It's the steering wheel of the body. Oh, look at that. Modify on the heel hook.
Look how he's twisting the ankle.
Twist away at the ligaments of the knee. Havoc using his free foot. He kicks to the jugular.
And he's done some damage. You saw Havoc trying to shake the feeling back into that left knee before Sabre cut him off again.
Look at Havoc, though, keeping his eyes fixed on his opponent. Zack wants him up.
Slap across the face.
Oh, jeez. Let me tell you something, man. Zack Sabre, for a lanky guy, he has a little bit of a mean streak in him, and he hits hard. Focused on the neck there, trapped the arm, and now another unique submission hold here. Not sure he's going to get the concession here, but it certainly will give Zack time to recuperate as well as to inflict damage as Jimmy skirts and scurries to the ropes, forcing a break.
A unique grip there from Sabre, going behind his own back for that butcher's hook.
Yeah, well, he does that so that your opponent can't grab at your fingers or your hands to try to alleviate the pressure on the hold. It's actually very smart on the part of ZSJ. Oh, speaking of smart, Havoc tried to get a hold of the foot, ducks the kick. Ooh.
He didn't the second time. Sabre came back.
Met it on the other side.
And Sabre, again, trying to bring this back down to a pace that suits him. But this has ended up outside the ring. Whether that's by accident or design, that could assist Jimmy Havoc. We saw that against Gibson.
It depends now. What does Zack have in mind here? Gets his opponent back into the ring.
Sabre following Havoc back in, but Havoc had a chance to recover.
Fireman's carry now. Into the driver.
Havoc will try again. Right leg hooked, and Sabre pushes the head away to break up the pin. Havoc is headed to the top. Sabre is prone in a bad position. Another attempt at a double foot stomp, this time no one there.
Body scissor there by Havoc. Caught. Wait a second here. Oh.
Great suplex from Zack Sabre Jr.
Modified on the tiger, got net. Right for the Rainmaker clothesline. Clutch. Look at Jimmy Havoc. Havoc loves that sort of stuff.
Havoc getting fired up, going for the Rainmaker. This is how he beat Gibson.
Nope.
Sabre.
Counter out. No.
Havoc got the shoulders down. Sabre trying for that cross arm breaker.
Trying to hyperextend the arm here. Look at the way that Jimmy Havoc has his hands clasped, and now hyperextension of the arm. If he could turn the thumb, nope, the Havoc was able to roll away from the pressure, but Zack Sabre Jr., a submission specialist.
Havoc, you see, trying to move his legs towards the bottom rope, but bending the fingers now as well is Sabre.
Oh, wow.
Look how he's got him tied up.
God bless Zack Sabre Jr.
Oh, my God. Havoc.
That's it.
Havoc submits.
He quit.
But what else can you do? What else can you do when Zack Sabre Jr. has you tied in knots? Zack Sabre Jr. joins Will Ospreay as the English representatives in the Pro Wrestling World Cup Finals.
What an amazing display on the part of Zack Sabre Jr., and I cannot think of a better talent to represent the wonderful country of England than that man right there, Zack Sabre Jr. Quite a departure from how we saw Will Ospreay advance, huh?
Two very different competitors.
The winner of the match is a result of submission, and the second man to advance to the finals of the World Cup in August, Zack Sabre Jr.
So Zack Sabre Jr. joining Will Ospreay as the two members of Team England in the last 16 of the Pro Wrestling World Cup in late August.
Yep.
What a match.
An absolute classic on display by Zack Sabre Jr. A tip of the cap to Jimmy Havoc, but man, Dave, what a night it's been so far.
It has been an incredible night, not only in the ring, but it's back in the locker room as well. We saw Prince Amin being assaulted by Joe Hendry. Well, in just a few moments, Matt, we're going to see Hendry and the rest of the Prestige out here for our main event.
I don't have anything to say about Prestige or Joe Hendry, so I'm going to leave it up to you.
Well, Prestige going to face the Bullet Club and Gabriel Kidd. And I'm sure there's a few people in Nottingham who wouldn't mind seeing the members of the Prestige getting super kicked in the face.
I'm one.